Everyone in the anime industry talks about the big genres, the shonen, the shoujo, even the psychological anime that give us our college degrees. Even isekai. Yeah, isekai is totally a genre of its own, but no one really talks about the comedy in anime, which as a normal genre, comedy is my favorite, but in anime, not really. So I know the comedy in the anime industry is, lacking. To put it in simpler words, it's shit. But there are some comedy anime that are actually funny. So first one on my list of comedy anime, and most likely my favorite one, is Saiki. One of the things I love about Saiki is that how most of its jokes are original, and it doesn't use one theme and makes all the jokes based on that. It's true that Saiki's overpowerness and his laziness make a portion of the comedy in the show, but the show also focuses on his friends and their stupid actions in each episode and how he deals with it. Each friend of his has a trait that the show exploits and exaggerates, like Nendo's stupidity or Kaido's 8th grade syndrome, to make some hilarious scenes. And the episodic nature of the show makes the comedy focus on the events of each and every different episode, highlighting them in a different way each time, unlike Aho Girl. I dropped Aho Girl, but I watched enough to understand the pattern of their jokes. She's dumb, she does something dumb, he eats her for doing the dumb thing, and boom, pure comedy. Unfortunately, that's pretty dumb. Comedy doesn't work like that. The repetition of jokes just made me bored, and I was predicting every event as it happened. A comedy anime that doesn't do that is Daily Life of High School Boys. This show's main plot is about the life of high school kids. It's simple, but doesn't often repeat the same jokes, much like Saiki. The episodic nature of it makes the jokes more original and funnier. Each joke is highlighting the stupid event that happened in that episode, instead of just stating out loud that it's a stupid event like in Aho Girl. But you can't go on a rant about comedy anime without talking about the parodies. For example, One Punch Man parodies the shonen genre by making the main character very overpowered, which at first thought, you'd think there's no way they can continue a story, but they do it in a very comedic and funny way. But I'm not gonna talk about it more cause it's already been talked about a lot. Konosuba parodies the isekai genre in a very funny and smart way. It makes fun of the generic isekai traits like having an OP main character or having a team of strong allies, while here we have Kazuma, a weak asshole who is the most relatable anime character ever. I don't know if that says something about me. And his team of a useless annoying girl, another girl that likes blowing shit, and a masochist. Its jokes are very funny and original, and the characters make it what it is now. Okay, from now on we're gonna abbreviate the Devil's a part-timer to DIAPT! So DIAPT! Actually, it doesn't really parody isekai, because it came out in 2013 2014 where isekai was just rising. It is a funny show where it twists the idea of a main character getting sent to another world from Earth, and instead they bring the main character from another world to Earth. It's a story about bringing Mao, which is basically Satan, to live in new modern ages, and it takes that premise and makes some hilariously written scenes. Its characters are great, with Ashiya, Satan's right hand, becoming a house husband that's always angry by Mao and the other shenanigans, and the hero who was sent with them always trying to challenge Mao. Okay, after all these great comedy anime, I want to mention a bad one that takes its idea and just uses it without adding anything to it. Sakamoto Desuga was very disappointing when I watched it, since I heard a lot of people saying it's a great comedy anime, which now I wholeheartedly disagree with. Sakamoto had a cool premise, it had a funny idea, but none of the jokes landed. It was basing every joke in its show on the main theme, which is Sakamoto being this perfect embodiment of a person, but it just stopped being funny after episode 2. It just became boring and repetitive. With everything that Sakamoto does, a girl out there gets her panty wet looking at him. Let me rephrase that. It became repetitive with every time Sakamoto does anything, everyone is ecstatic and the viewer could easily predict every joke. Kaguya-sama is a very funny anime considering it's just like Sakamoto. It bases most of its jokes on the main plot, which is tsundere versus tsundere, but I think the difference is that Kaguya had great character and synergy between them that made it funny and entertaining, while Sakamoto didn't have anything and all the characters are forgettable. I want to give some honorable mentions to other comedy anime. I haven't watched Lucky Star, Nichijou, or Gabriel Dropout, but I heard they were hilarious, and Mob Psycho and G2R are some of my favorite anime and manga ever, but not for the comedic reasons, although the comedy is pretty fun. Before I end the video, I just want to say that I think the reason why comedy in anime doesn't work a lot, other than the parodies or shows that don't focus on comedy as the main genre, is because they're animated. Now hear me out here, I think that comedy in anime just majorly takes advantage of the fact that it is an anime. For example, in most comedy anime, there's always extreme things happening for extreme reasons, while I think comedy is better when it's simple. You don't need a dropkick from a girl when a boy says something weird, or a cross-chop to the head when a girl says something dumb. It just has to be realistic, like in real life shows or movies. You can see the human emotion better than in anime. I still obviously prefer anime in emotions, but when it comes to comedy, I think real life shows do it better. Anyways, this was a rant about comedy in anime, and if you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.